now.
Oh shit.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Coming soon to this theater.
Whoop, 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 whoop. What?
It's alive. It's moving. It's coming this way.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy Brian. Hope you're having a great Saturday night. I know I am because I'm hanging out with my boy Matt. And yeah, we're talking about Hell Night this evening, which is from 1981 and is one of the few American horror movies that came out around that time, like late 70s, early 80s. That's not a slasher movie. So, and it's kind of, I don't want to say it's obscure. But I don't think it gets quite enough love, and I think it's worth a look. Anyway, if you've never seen it before, guess what? Link is below in the description. You can click on that; it will take you right to a unedited copy of the movie. It's usually like a Tubi link or Peacock or something like that. Sometimes a YouTube link. So that doesn't mean there's not going to be commercials, but it's not like so many commercials that you're just like fuck it and out. And most importantly, the movies are unedited. So I don't know, man. It's a great time to be a horror fan. Let me welcome my co-host, my friend, your friend, Matt Butch Cleaver Burke. How are you doing, Matt?
What's up, Brian? How you doing, man? I'm doing great.
Yeah, no, I'm doing all right. I mean, it's a little hot here in New York, and there's like a bitchin' thunderstorm that just kind of came out of nowhere, and so I'm seeing like flashing lightning. I'm like, oh, please don't let my house get struck.
It's like hellacious weather.
No, I mean, I was literally in this spot. This is like years ago, and there was a storm, and I was being a jerk and was like, fuck the storm, and suddenly I hear snap.
Oh, snap.
That's what it was. It was a snap sound, right? And the fucking lights go out, and my fucking motherboard was fried.
Oh, fuck around.
I had to fucking, yeah. And this is like, I mean, now I can put together, like, I built my own PC, the one that I have now, right? Because, I like the towers as opposed to like the, to the laptops. But back then, I didn't know shit, and I had to send that shit to like Texas, I think.
Oh man.
And wait for it to come back. And it was pretty fast. It was like 10 days.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, but then like for 10 days, I've lost the machine I use to write with, that I use to masturbate with, that I use to communicate. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like it's going through fucking withdrawal. I was just super fucking anxious until I got that damn thing back.
Oh,
but hopefully the lightning hopefully the lightning won't strike twice in the same spot.
You're good.
I hope so. Anyway, I asked you before the stream if you'd seen Renfield, which you haven't. I haven't seen it either.
Mm-hmm.
The word that I'm hearing is that it's very mid. That, I mean, mind you, I haven't seen it, so I can't review it. Sight unseen.
Right.
But I'm just saying that like the general scuttlebutt, like the general reviews, are that the Nicolas Cage Dracula parts are awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, everyone's talking about that. That's what I hear.
Right.
It's like that.
But then, like, the rest of the movie is like very sort of generic.
Okay.
Like the villain, like the other characters aren't really interesting at all, and you're just waiting, like you're waiting through those scenes to get to like more Nicolas Cage Dracula.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
Interesting thing I noticed is that the running time, because I was thinking about going to check it out, and I saw the running time was 93 minutes.
Yeah, it's short. Yeah.
Which, like, you know, back in the Disney, a lot of millennials and shit, and Zoomers, they don't know this shit. But it used to be the standard running time for a movie was 90 minutes.
Right.
Now it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh, really? I never really noticed that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I might be off a little bit and maybe more like 2 hours. But I mean, it seems like there's so many movies where I'm like, oh, I want to sit down and watch this. I'm like, oh shit, I don't have 2.5 hours.
Yeah, some movies don't need to be that long. You know what I mean? Like most movies don't. They need to be about an hour and 40 minutes. You know.
I like that they can be. This is my standard line, right? I love the fact, because I used to be annoyed that movies had to be often truncated, and would get hurt as a result of that.
Right.
But you know, not everything. I like the fact that everything can be 3 hours long, but not everything should be. Not everything's fucking Lawrence of Arabia or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like the story isn't that deep, you know what I mean? And it's like some of the characters aren't, you know, you don't need to kick it with the characters that long, you know.
You know, I mean, like Zack Snyder's Justice League, you could cut a half. You easily could have cut a fucking half hour out of that.
Yeah, or maybe even a fucking hour for me. Like I don't know, there's some shit. I was watching Batman versus Superman and the other night. I was just like, fuck, this shit's long. I mean, it's cool and all, but it's like, fuck, dude. You know, I don't know. It's a lot.
The longer version is. The thing is, the longer version's the better version because it's coherent.
Yeah, it has Clark Kent in there, and you know, I just went back and wanted to rewatch it more and see some more Clark Kent, because I mean, you're never gonna get probably a Superman like that again. I don't think.
Yeah.
And I really like Man of Steel. Like I was watching Man of Steel, and I'm like, fuck. I still like that's one of my top superhero movies. I like it better than all the Marvel. I like it better than all the Marvel movies. And and it's still fucking the fight. It's still fucking slaps the fucking Marvel movies on the back.
Fight? Yeah.
And the last fight was Zod, and then I like Michael Shannon is Zod, you know.
Oh,
where
fantastic!
Did you learn to fight on a farm? Like, you know.
Yeah, no, he's great because he just like does that. He does that balancing act of like chewing up the scenery.
Yes.
But at the same time, being sincere.
Yeah, very, very much.
Just
so.
enough.
Believable, you know. I watched it with my daughter too, and she's like, "Well, he's not bad, Daddy." And then, you know, he kind of like he cares about, you know, I have no people, you know. This is what you have taken from me. Like he has the two best speeches in the movie, I think, and they're both at the end. And because he's bred, they're all clones. All the you know, in that movie,
they came out of decanters.
Yeah, and Henry Cavill is a pure human of Krypton or pure Kryptonian. All the other ones are clones.
He was conceived the natural, the fun way.
Yeah, the fun way.
Yeah, and as opposed to like being decanted, kind of like in Brave New World, all of the
Matrix and shit.
People coming, that too. Like these artificial wombs.
And it's just cool seeing Zod like pick up the shit. Like he picks up everything that Clark picked up pretty quick.
Yes,
but Clark still has all of their DNA as well in his genes. So there's a lot of cool shit in that movie, you know, and a lot of stuff that's annoying too. But fuck, I still love that movie, dude.
Dude, I have an irrational, almost irrational love of that movie. I genuinely love Man of Steel.
Yeah,
and one of the things I love about it was how it took certain things, like for instance, the Codex.
Yeah,
which is then in his body.
Yeah,
I realized, oh shit, that's the little city.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's
right, and the spaceship that he finds, that's the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, okay, I could vibe with this. It was using the same concepts without embracing the silliness, right? Now Grant Morrison, but I mean that's Grant Morrison. Yeah, right, well, I mean, you know, throwing in the fucking you know, the menagerie, as they used to call it at derisively at DC Comics, you know, like the suit, not just Astro, the Super Dog,
all the Crypto,
I mean,
but
also the, you know, there's like a fucking monkey and probably a camel and shit like that with capes and shit. Yeah, but I mean that's that's a sort of thing that's easier to pull off in a comic book than it is like on screen. It would just get laughed off the screen naturally.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like why they're always fighting too much and killing, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I mean, you only got like so much time usually in a movie to tell like like thousands of comic books into one story, so it's like you kind of got to let the director have his vision a little bit.
Yes,
I was telling my daughter that like he only has like so many hours to have his vision and tell like thousands of stories into one movie and make it entertaining and fresh and all kinds of shit. Like there's a lot of stuff that has to happen, and it's
not perfect.
Nah, fuck no. Like, there's a lot of things I don't like about it. Like, I don't like how his dad died and he didn't save him. I thought that was stupid as fuck. I'll still die on the hill. Like, nah, it just doesn't work. Like, in my gut, it doesn't work. That's dumb.
Right. Like, people's criticisms of it, like, I can kind of agree with, but I'm like, it doesn't, like, ruin the movie. It doesn't even come close to ruining the movie. And it's still awesome.
And Lois being in it like that, people were complaining that she was, like investigating too much. I'm like, why? She's in like, that's pretty cool. She's a little more, like, outgoing, like going more and doing crazier fucking like you know what I mean? But she's also not hot enough. Yeah, she's pretty plain Jane. Like they needed more of a supermodel to play her, in my opinion. Like that's
somebody that
really,
would be
really,
intimidatingly hot.
Yeah,
right.
Very much so.
Because the whole idea is that when Clark meets her, he's just like,
yeah, exactly.
Right.
And like and so
and she could only see me for like for what I really am. Because, she's in love with Superman, not Clark Kent.
Yeah. And then the fight scenes in there are fucking dope, dude. The action's
amazing.
Dope. Yeah. And then
the
Russell
score, dude.
Russell Crowe, the score, you know what I mean? And like his
Hans Zimmer?
Score, yeah, like
honestly, dude, I get fucking chills when I hear that shit.
Yeah. It's like doom metal fucking and then like Affleck's score is pretty dope too, because I was watching them, Brad, you know what I mean? They both have their own. Like they're all like different styles of metal. Like his is doom, and then fucking Affleck's is more like a little more sludgy, and a little more kind of heavier, like fucking almost like it's like doom, and then you got fucking Wonder Woman's more like melodic metal, like like fucking they're all metal though in their own way.
That's the thing is I'm not a Snyderverse stan. By any means.
Either. I kind of am in some ways, but not entirely.
But when I point to things that are good about the Snyderverse, one of them is that it's metal.
Yeah, it's metal as fuck, for sure.
It's metal as fuck.
Yeah. I don't like the villains. Like, I think he's got the best, which is Zod, one of my favorites, but I don't like Doomsday. I loved Doomsday growing up as a kid. I loved Death of Superman. That was my favorite Superman comic.
And the Lex Luthor
I hate Lex Luthor.
Disastrous.
You can't like make me like that character. I'm sorry.
No,
I don't care if you fucking bake his head or what. Don't like him. Don't like his voice. He's
horrible interpretation. The fact that he's insane was the thing that bugged me. Because Lex Luthor is not insane.
No,
Lex Luthor is fucking
exactly. He got his shit on point like a leader should. Like a fucking Mac. He's a Mac, dude. He's the Mac. He is the Mac. He's like the kingpin of kingpins. You know what I mean? And got shit on him. He's just like, all right, well, we're gonna do that. Like he doesn't flip out. He's like, all right, bitch, I got your shit. I got my kryptonite.
Once again, if they just looked at the fucking Bruce Timm series, right?
Yeah,
I've always felt like I've never understood why Warner Brothers never just got those people, Paul Dini and fucking Bruce Timm, and said, okay, guess what? Now you're making live action movies.
Yeah, go direct one. Maybe make a little Art Deco-y. You know what I mean? That's kind of probably how I would do it. A little classy. I'd do like a classy Batman kind of. Like we haven't seen something like that yet, really.
Well, yeah, and 100%. Also the reason I'm sad to see Batfleck go is that was like the first Batman we had that was in a universe with aliens. And monsters, and like you could see Batfleck versus Etrigan, the demon.
Yeah. Totally, dude.
Right?
And I was showing my daughter, I'm like, you see this fight scene? You're not going to see Batman ever do anything like this ever again. Like, it's just not going to happen. Like, even on the scale. Like, you could, even if Batfleck's in another movie with Michael Keaton, I guarantee you there ain't going to be a fucking fight like this. Like, that warehouse scene, it's not going to happen.
Dude, that's the best. That is the best Batman fight in history.
Yeah,
they finally got it right. They finally got it right, and that was because they looked at the video games.
Yeah, Arkham, and they fucked up too because now I have to compare everything to that every single fucking time. Like, and then if you watch Justice League after that, like I go there for Batman. I'm sorry, I'm a Batman stan. I'm just like,
me too.
What the fuck is this? He's like Robert Downey Jr. in this bitch, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, the Snyder cut. I see that. what the fuck? It's 4 hours long. What's Batman doing? Is he fucking baking cookies or something? Like he's not he's not running around fucking up no parademons like he is in the first movie, like snapping their necks and shit. That's another part. Remember, like he was fucking up gangs of fools in the desert, like scene.
Well,
I know it was a dream, but still.
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean that was the Nightmare, Knight, the Nightmare, which was expanded on in the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
But I mean, what made me tune out was the fact that he was killing people, right? And as soon as I saw him killing people, I was like, that's it, I'm done. Then you watch the extended version, you're like, oh, I get it now. This is a fallen Batman.
Totally fallen,
Totally fallen.
Him and Irons Alfred, they're talking about it, what turns men cruel, and, Robin's dead, and he's just killing people, For me, like, I understand that. I mean, I guess I don't want Batman killing, but to be honest with you, like, I don't care. I really don't. I'm like that one guy that doesn't care. Like, I'll take them both because I know that's how he came out. He's a pulp guy. He fucking shot people up and shit.
Yeah, but but remember, Superman couldn't fly. Yeah. Superman could only jump, leap tall buildings in a single bound. So the original versions of characters aren't necessarily the definitive versions of those characters.
I agree.
And to me, the definitive Batman does not fucking use guns.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He knows guns. Like, that's one of the things I love about The Dark Knight is when Bruce Wayne is like walking down the hallway of the skyscraper, and one of the Joker's goons comes at him, and he just fucks him up, and then like as he's walking, dismantles his gun.
Oh yeah, and as Wayne too, he's like, I don't do that.
Like he could do it like blindfolded, right?
That's the best Batman trilogy too. Like I was telling my daughter, I'm like, this is the best Batman fight scene you'll ever see. Batman Begins is the best Batman movie you'll ever see. The Dark Knight is just the best like Bat-verse type movie you're ever gonna see. Like just the whole on like Batman universe movie, like with the Joker is The Dark Knight, And, and I liked the Batman. I really did. Yeah, I did too.
But it's like, really, we have to get another Christopher Nolan?
Yeah,
kind of a thing?
It kind of is too, and
it is.
The fight scenes are fucking all like in the beginning in the first hour too, though. Like it's all in the first hour. Then you got to wait 2 more hours for this fucking other fight scene. I know you get a Batmobile chase, but it's just like, dude, at least like for me in the editing, I would have done something to where like in the story,
that into fucking 2 90-minute movies.
2 90-minute movie, yeah. Chop some shit out. Yeah, I agree. I'm eager for the next one though. I do want to see where they go with that shit.
Oh yeah, no, most definitely. And the I don't know if you've seen like the Penguin trailer or like the teaser.
It. Yeah, I want to watch it. I can't wait.
Oh, dude, that looks fantastic.
Yeah,
fucking Colin Farrell.
I have a feeling they're gonna get Scott Adkins, dude. I have a feeling that Scott Adkins, like just a big swell. I think he's gonna be James Gunn's Batman. I have a weird feeling because there's just people that have been wanting him forever, and it just kind of makes sense. Like he's like the guy.
Batman that can fight.
Yeah, he can fight and he can act. He's in John Wick 4. They put him in a fat suit.
I know. And when I saw that, and I haven't seen that movie yet, but when I saw that, I thought, oh, it's not like his appearance in Doctor Strange where he's in the background, he's just a goon.
Yeah, he's just
this is like a major role, and he's in makeup. He's doing a character, so maybe finally they're going to be like, hey, that guy looks pretty much just like Ben Affleck, and he can do fucking jump kicks.
Yeah.
So you can have a Batman that actually can fucking fight, and then also maybe choreograph some awesome fight scenes.
Exactly. And he's like still like at that perfect age to where he could like have a son, and like you could still like if they hire him now, they're good. Like right now is the time.
Yeah,
they got to snatch that motherfucker up real quick.
It can't happen. It can't. Yeah, I'm not getting my. That would be too good to be true. That would be too awesome. We can't have awesome things anymore. That's the problem.
What trailer did you see? What trailer did you see recently?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna share this. Let's check this
popped up on my feed on Instagram. I was just like,
on your.
Yep.
What up, Pops?
What's up, Pops?
It's all action.
All action.
It's always all action.
All the time.
I hear that. Yeah, we're just about to take a look at this trailer for the Voyage of the Demeter. Now, those of you that aren't familiar with the Demeter, what is the Demeter? The Demeter is the ship that Dracula travels on to get from Europe to England. And that chapter is the most compelling chapter of that entire novel.
Yep.
Right?
Definitely.
And I always thought, like, man, somebody should make a movie just out of that.
Right? They've been
I
trying for
never
like 10
thought
years.
dude needed a ship. Didn't he just turn into a bat and fly his little ass over there?
Nah, he needs that dirt. He needs that
He
soil
needs that
work.
dirt. He needs that dirt. Yeah. Okay, dude, you get fucking with the time zone change and shit. He got fucking fried to a crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, he travels by ship, and there'd been talk. I know that there had been a script going around. I know. Now this is Neil Marshall, the guy who. Yeah, Neil Marshall, the guy who did the last Hellboy.
Yeah.
Which was shit, but not his fault, in my opinion.
And Hellboy was decent in there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It was like Momoa in the Conan movie. Same shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And also he did 2 classics, Dog Soldiers and
Doomsday.
Doomsday is great, but what's
The Descent?
The Descent. There's 2 versions of that, by the way, folks. Make sure you watch the European version because they changed the ending for like American audiences because they think we're stupid or something like that.
That's funny.
But he's an interesting filmmaker. I haven't enjoyed everything that he's done. He did a movie about the witch craze that was on Shudder recently. I didn't care for it. I also had like a really woke postscript, which was this film is dedicated to all of the female victims of the witch craze. And I'm just like, how about just the victims of the fucking witch craze?
Yeah.
Like, why specifically the women? Right? It's just all that woke shit. But
yeah,
hopefully this won't be woke and it'll just be fucking some straight up horror. Let's take a little peek here.
The Demeter, on charter from Romania to London. Shipping private crates. Contents unknown.
Yeah, so as you can see, the Demeter is a cargo ship. And I love that, how, like, it's not even the coffin, it's the crate that the coffin's in has, like, the Dracula seal. You can see the dragon there.
Yeah.
Dracul.
Out at sea, with no land in sight.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is Universal.
Yeah, you know what pissed me off? I could have seen this
Yeah.
movie before it was done. I had tickets to go see it and fucking Renfield, and I couldn't do either of them.
Ah, that sucks. Yeah, no, I fuck.
You know those screenings where you go see them where they're making the movie and you like rate it and you write down all the shit? I did it 10 years ago for Species 2, and they send me emails like every fucking 2 weeks for movies.
No
and
shit.
Those 2 were on there. I was like, fuck, man, I would have loved to see both these movies. They both look like fun, you know?
Oh, dude.
Oh, well.
As a kid, I had a subscription to Fangoria and Starlog, and if you had a subscription to both of those, they would like occasionally send you free movie tickets, like for sneak previews. So I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark like a month before it came out.
That's sick,
and the next day was just like, telling all my friends, like, "Oh man, this movie's so dope! You gotta check it out."
Right? I still have some good Starlog books, man.
What? Oh, like the tickets or something? Yeah. Oh, I've got like all of my. I actually recently bagged and boarded all of my Fangorias and Starlogs.
This here is Clemens. He's a doctor.
You dress like a learned man.
University of Cambridge. I know my way around the boat.
Our charter has agreed to pay a bonus for timely arrival in London.
Let me show you the ship. This?
Oh, it's a cute looking dog. And of course, whenever I see a dog in a horror movie or any kind of animal, I'm just like, that critter's not long for this world.
Right.
Oh, what up? What up, Chris? We see you. I just seen the trailer for this movie. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like Dracula would just wipe out the whole crew of the ship all in one night. Yeah, but he would. Yeah, but I mean, wouldn't it make more sense for him to pick them off piecemeal? That's a long boat ride.
Yeah, he needs to pick them off so he could survive the ride.
Exactly.
It was months back then.
Right. If he just, does like like Morbius in the Spider-Man comics. He just like kills everybody on the ship with like one night.
Dude,
but then
Viggo
again, like
Mortensen... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, you were in the middle of it.
No, I was just gonna say, but like the ship was like in port, and so he just like killed everybody on the ship and like drank all their blood. But it makes sense for Dracula to knock them off one at a time. Right, either that or the crew would figure it out and kill him during the day while he's sleeping. Yeah, but they don't believe in vampires, do they? And that's the story too.
Here is Huckleberry. We don't come wood like this to give the Earls clear.
The meat is a fine milk, no doubt.
There was a movie that was kind of like this called Blood Vessel. Have you seen that?
No.
That's a contemporary setting and about like two vampires on a ship. It's worth seeing. I don't think it's great, but let me put it this way: the monster design in that is fantastic. It makes it worth watching.
I'll watch.
And it's certainly not bad. Yeah, Blood Vessel, it's called.
Dude, this movie they've been trying to make for 10 years. Like
I know.
Viggo Mortensen was attached to play Dracula. I'm glad that they took this direction. And fuck, I didn't even know that Neil Marshall was directing it. I'm so excited now, even more. Dude,
it would be great if this turns out to be awesome and they use this as a springboard for the dark universe, right? Or not that, like a good version of that, which is just Universal Monsters.
Something ripped apart the animals.
All the livestock?
Oh, so he's starting with the animals.
Mm.
And he's picking them off first.
Makes sense.
Then I guess, yeah, no, it does.
This
Long ride.
Yep.
Search the ship. Everywhere.
Evil is on board. Powerful evil.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much dramatic potential for that. I really liked, if you haven't seen the Netflix version of Dracula, the one that Mark Gatiss did, it's like 3 episodes, but the episodes are all like feature length, like 90 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's
with,
pretty
like,
good.
Play bangs.
I really like
Dracula.
the first. Yeah, I really like the first episode. That one was a lot, like where it shows him, like in the castle and stuff. That was my favorite part.
Dude, I mean, they gender swapped a character, right? Van Helsing is a woman, a nun, and I love that freaking character.
Mm-hmm.
That character was actually awesome, but that's the thing. It's just like, okay, you've seen this story told 500,000 times.
Yeah.
Let's see something different.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, Dracula looks decidedly inhuman in this.
Yeah, and he looks like he looks scary, dude. Like I think this might be like what like we need. You know what I mean?
Genuinely make them scary again.
Yeah, and like it's epic enough that it's on a boat. It doesn't need to be in a house, so it's got like that big of a budget. Which Dracula needs kind of something epic, but not too big. And it's scary, and they keep it, like the budget kind of modest. And you got Neil Marshall doing it. And he looks kind of like a cross between, I would say Nosferatu and then maybe Victor from Underworld, which is a good. I think a Dave DeSmalchin from Dark Knight right there. He's a comic book creator. That guy.
Yeah.
He has a comic book.
Count Crowley. It's actually really like that comic. It's definitely worth checking out.
In the night, it drinks our blood. He is here.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like, you don't have to, if you're going to do the Universal Monsters, you don't do it on a gigantic budget. Don't do it on a Marvel movie budget. Do it on like what would be considered like a mid-level budget. You know what I'm saying? Like 50 million or something like that.
Yep.
And make them fucking horror movies.
Maybe they listen to it, Brian. Finally. This is it. I think this is it, bro. Like, this is the way to do it. You do the one scary, you do the haunted house on the water, you know, boom.
Because, I mean, this would be a great vehicle for a scary Dracula.
Exactly.
We call him Dracula.
Oh, snap. Now, you see, that's one of the things that I shouldn't do, and I always try to avoid doing when I'm watching a film, is when you catch a quick flash of the monster.
Yeah.
And because the filmmaker just wants you to have a glimpse, but then I'm a nosy mofo. I gotta like get a good eyeful. Oh shit. Oh man, he looks pretty damn creepy. He actually looks like one of the subterranean monsters, the cave monsters in The Descent.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the bat people? Because remember, they looked like bats.
Exactly. I think that's perfect.
He's coming!
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm getting my hopes up.
Did you see the size of that bloody thing? I'm gonna kill the cursed thing.
Whoa. Looked like he had wings there.
He is on this ship.
Oh, look at that. Yes, we have a monstrous Dracula.
Which means that we will never leave it.
The devil is real. May God have mercy on us all.
Oh yeah. Hoping that there's not too much CGI in this, but that did look cool.
It looked dope. Yeah, that looks hard as fuck. I should be able to go see that. Hopefully, like to me, that like it's basically everything you need. You know what I mean? Like you don't want him to be a human. Like you can have like Hugo or you can have Vigo go in there like act his ass out of that movie and be scary as fuck. But how scary can he be if he's not a monster? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, he was scary as the devil. I mean, I know he could do Dracula, but it's like, And for me personally, I hope they don't make like I don't want to see him speak. I want him to be a fucking monster the whole movie. Maybe in the end credits, you'll see his true form, or maybe he'll speak a word or speak some words.
Right.
If he does do some shit, it better be like Danny Houston in 30 Days a Night, you know?
Yes.
Where he's just like, no God. Where he's just like basically a couple words. Nothing too crazy, but very, very minimal. Keep it small, and then maybe the next movie
I agree.
They could call like Beyond the Demeter or something. You know what I mean? Or After the Demeter or something.
You know what I've always thought they should do is they should do a remake of Dracula, remake of the Wolfman, remake of Frankenstein, and then do House of Frankenstein. Right, which is the first monster rally.
Yeah.
And then you could even do Frankenstein meets the Wolfman and shit like that. But I would love just to like those specific 3 characters. Right, they made a mistake starting with the Mummy. It's like, no, you want the unholy trinity. Yeah. Right? You want the 3 of them throwing
and you
down.
Put some humans like in there with them, like for the first like 2/3, maybe like first half of the movie, you know what I mean? Where they're picking them off or eating them or something, like kind of like this. And then the last half of the movie, that's when they go at each other. So the first part's kind of scary, and the last half is just full on like, you know, like the Wolfman ending where they're fighting and shit. Fighting each other.
Rumble.
So you get scared in the beginning, and then you fucking have a badass fight scenes at the end. Because eventually you got to have a fight, dude, and it has to come to a point where they're not scary anymore. They're just kind of gory, and they're ripped. It's Monty Python kind of like they're ripping shit up like Freddy vs. Jason. Which that's how I would want it. Like that's how I get it. Because they're fighting each other. It's just not scary anymore because you're already seeing them at that point. The less you see of them, the kind of better. You know?
Right. It's not going to be scary, but you can make it awesome.
But it could be fucking metal and dope. Like
it could be metal as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
that's how you would do those movies. That's how I would do them. Every fucking movie I would have like because you get to a point like, okay, so we have all these movies and everybody sees all the monsters. Everybody in the world knows what they look like. If the shit's successful, the franchises, you know, the the shared universe, you know. But I would still do that with each movie. After that, their sequels, I would make them still kind of low budget. And in the first half of the movie, it's fucking a horror movie, and it's scary as fuck. I would try to scare you, even though you know everything. How am I going to scare them differently? You know what I mean? How am I going to tweak it? And then boom, I'm going to deliver some more shit towards the end of the movie. You know, that's how you would do it. That's how you keep them keep it fresh and fucking awesome. You know,
started out scary and just end it like
it's a challenge
and fun.
That's a fucking challenge, though, dude. It's a hard thing for filmmakers to do, but it would pay off for the audience. People would come. It can be done, and people would come back for it. I think that's how I would tackle every fucking movie. Yeah, and I'll go after the right
talent. Don't spend $150, $200 million. Spend 50 and concentrate on making them scary again. Making genuinely scary freaking horror movies.
Put it all in the actors and all in the special and in the sets and in the makeup. You know what I mean? And that's where
and also the director too. You know, can the director create a real sense of dread and menace?
Exactly. That's the first thing you got to pay for. You know,
absolutely.
100%. And then the good actors. Like, I don't mean you got to. And I mean you could go fucking hire some unknowns. Go to Broadway. Go to fucking the colleges.
Hell
I mean, find whoever you can that's perfect for that movie. You know.
Hell yeah. I'm all for casting unknowns. Oh, we got Herman. What's up? Herman P. Hunter from the Lore Forge. I really like the Netflix Dracula as well. And you're right. The Nun was awesome. Yeah, it was fresh.
It was
I mean,
cool.
That was, that was a gender swap. At first I rolled my eyes, but then I was like, this is a really good character.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta let shit stew for a little bit, you know what I mean, before you like or hate it.
Right. And we have Countless Corpses podcast. CCP had to stop by and show our support for a fellow horror show on the network. This is Macabre Michael. Michael, thank you for stopping in, man. We appreciate you, and everybody that's hanging out, we appreciate you greatly. Smash that like button if it's not a bother. And in a minute we're gonna start talking about tonight's movie, Hell Night, which is there's a link in the description. You can click on that, and it will take you to said film. Let me share.
I was also saying that more Cannibal Corpse on the horror soundtracks.
Oh yeah.
My buddy was saying that my buddy had a great idea. He told me years ago. What if the artists, that did Dead World, that did their covers, what if they put all those covers together?
Vincent Locke.
And they made a fucking movie based on those covers, kind of like 13 Ghosts or just like a haunted house where, something like that. But then you put the music in there too, you know what I mean? To make it metal, scary, something a little different, but you'd have to do it right. It would be hard to do that. Because sometimes when you put metal in movies, it gets hard. It's hard to do it. I'm all for it though.
Argento could do it like really well, like in Phenomena.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? We hear like Lemmy kicking in suddenly after a murder. I'm just like, for some reason he can get away with that shit.
And Corpse, it would have to be almost like Grindhouse style. Like that's how I would have to do it like that. You know what I mean? It's
how funny is it? How funny is it that Cannibal Corpse is in a movie and it's not a horror movie? It's fucking Ace Ventura.
That movie's fucking metal, dude. Because they're in there, dude. So it's fucking.
I know.
He's fucking does some stupid shit sometimes, but yeah, he's dope. Once Bitten.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that Cannibal Corpse is in that movie is because he was a fan.
Yeah.
Because I think his son was like listening to them, and he was like "Oh, I can get off on this. This is kind of cool."
He's like, "I could do this shit. I could front this band if I wanted to."
And just the way he's dancing across the room as they're playing. Oh, funny shit, man. Funny shit. Yeah. You got to give Jim Carrey love, if for anything, for that. Cannibal Corpse and Ace Ventura.
He's the shit, dog. I mean, he does some stupid fucking shit sometimes, but it's like he's still an artist. He's does some of the coolest characters. You know what I mean? And I respect his craft.
Hell yeah! What up, Tommy? Good to see you, brother. Hope your love dumplings, your love spuds are doing well. That's what I call guinea pigs. I call them love spuds. Oh. Love spuds. Love Spud. So Hell Night. What was your general impression of this?
Oh, from the get. I didn't know what to expect watching it, but I always knew that like there's going to be something interesting if you've recommended it. Going into it, that's what I thought, and I was watching it. I thought it was really cool. I guess I could give my final thoughts on it at the end, but not spoiling too much. But yeah, it was fun and entertaining. It wasn't what I thought it would be, and it was refreshing. And again, that's always something that I look forward to with your recommendations, Brian.
No, I mean, I'm grateful for that, because I think the only movie that I ever picked where I was the only one who liked it was Hands of the Ripper. Right? Because I remember I don't think you cared for it, and I don't think Peter Gilmore cared for it, and that was like the only time that I picked a dud, at least. But I mean, I didn't think it was a dud, but I
don't think it's a dud. There's just certain things I'm just like, I wish it had this and this and this.
Right.
But it was still like something different. It was entertaining, and it was fresh. You know what I mean? And that's always something cool, like with your recommendations. And
Hammer Time. You usually can't go go wrong with some hammer. Let me see if I can find.
Did you ever see a movie, a newer movie called Haunt?
Haunt. I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I watched it, part of it, like a year ago, and I was trying to figure out because my wife was watching it, and she fell asleep, and I started watching. I'm like, damn, this movie's pretty dope. I like this shit. And I guess it's produced by Eli Roth and some other cats, you know what I mean? And it's on Tubi, it's on Hulu, so we're not gonna do it on the show. But there's a couple little like things in that movie that I thought were pretty cool. What they did, little ideas, I mean,
like Tubi's adding shit all the time. Well,
yeah,
of course, the one I'm reading, the one I'm really waiting for, Terrifier 2.
Oh, that one's cruel, bro. That movie Haunt's pretty cruel too. Well, I don't want to talk about it because I'd like to cover it on the show. Like, there's
nasty and mean spirit is.
No, there's this cool. They have cool characters in there. Like, they have cool monsters. Like, they're not monsters, they're people. But what the shtick that they have, sometimes all these things have their little shtick, and if you say it, it kind of gives the movie away sometimes.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, that movie had a cool little shtick. I'm gonna go back and watch it.
That's interesting. Tommy says weird movie was Ghost Story 1981. That was one of the movies I had a free preview ticket to from Starlog and Fangoria. And I remember the screening was in the city, and I got my father to actually drive me and my best friend into the city to check that out. And cool. That was cool because it wasn't like a big theater. It was like a screening room.
Yeah.
So it felt like, like it was for like VIPs and shit like that, like industry people.
Right.
And I just thought that was awesome but I mean, that's the thing is like those were fanzines at that time. So they would do like shit like that and just go, fuck it. Like here's some tickets.
At my theater, they're doing Return of the King and The Big Lebowski. Like they're playing them, I'm going to go see Mario tomorrow, maybe with the kids. But I'm just like, damn, they're replaying a lot of shit now,
Look, during the pandemic or like immediately after, I have never understood why they haven't like re-released all the Star Wars movies in their original forms, unmolested, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, the Sergio Leone movies. There's all kinds of shit that you could release that would be people would absolutely flood to see those movies.
Right.
But it's just never occurred to them because they're like, oh well, they can get them on like DVD or VHS or like they've seen those already. It's just like, and they love them, and maybe a lot of them have never seen it on a big screen, or people have seen those movies on a big screen and they want to relive that experience.
Or maybe I never seen the movie before and now it's out in a big screen, and now I want to go eat some popcorn and drink some beer or some cola and watch the shit. What up, Crimson Owl Comics?
Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out, Crimson Owl. Crimson Owl Comics, we do appreciate you. Dan Sheehan? Not Dan Shahane. I'm getting my people mixed up. Hello from upstate New York. Hey bro, I'm from upstate New York too. I don't know if you're getting rained on like we are right now.
Still haven't done the drive-in. I got one city over. I got to do that, man.
But here's the thing. if there's a drive-in, it has to be run like the Alamo Drafthouse. Alamo Drafthouse is where like they will show old films, right?
Yeah.
Especially new restorations or like even like old, like they were doing Prince of Darkness, and we got to see like a toe-up a celluloid version of Lucio Fulci's Zombie.
That's
right.
That looked like him down here, dude. Or they got him down here. They have an Alamo Drafthouse. So if you decide to move down here, bro, we can go watch movies. Not just playing.
Oh,
I know you don't move over here.
Oh, you'd be a good movie buddy.
Hey, but we got the best fucking weather in the world. That's the one thing. There's a lot of fucking lib bullshit over here, but we got the best fucking weather in the world. That's why. That's why a lot of people still.
That's
live
why
here.
California is so happening. Like the coldest it gets, I hear, is like you might want to put a sweater on.
Plus, if you live in LA County, you're 40 minutes from the desert, 40 minutes from the mountains. You're also 40 minutes from the beach. You're 20 minutes from the beach.
Yeah.
So you have all of that right smack in the fucking center in
I
LA
know.
County. Where I live, I could go anywhere. That's just some of the shit. There's so much fucking shit out here to do, you know?
Oh yeah, my brother lived in Laguna, and
Laguna's nice.
Same thing. Like, you know, it was just like he could like go to the beach in the morning and then hit this fucking go snowboarding like in the afternoon.
Exactly. It's dope, dude.
Well, okay, yeah. Dan says I saw a Return of the Living Dead at a drive-in, and it was awesome. Here's the thing: if you're gonna have drive-ins, and I'm all for bringing the drive-ins back, but they have to show drive-in movies. I don't want to fucking go to a drive-in to see fucking Avatar.
Then we can go see Evil Dead, motherfucker. Right?
We're going to see Evil Dead and not Evil Dead. Well, you know what? Double feature. Evil Dead and like Evil Dead Rising. You could do that.
That movie looks good, dude. I know my wife's going to go see that for sure. She's already got I think she got her tickets already. Man, it looks good.
It does. It does. And I'm really hoping that doesn't disappoint. But the 2013 remake was
solid.
It was exceptional, I thought.
But what's weird is like that movie was solid. Like I was having a conversation with my wife. I was like, the fucking remake was solid. Like, but it didn't
really
spawn a sequel. You know, then they went back and then they did the TV show like 10 years later. You know, now they're back to the remake again. So I don't know. Right. It's weird. There's no ash in there either. Are you seeing? There's a chainsaw in there with some chicks got a chainsaw. So I'm like, there ain't no ash in there.
Right. Yeah, well,
which is fine,
look,
whatever.
You can't. Yeah, I mean, you first of all, you can't have Ash without Bruce Campbell,
right?
And at a certain point, it's just gonna get silly.
Yeah, and I already got what I wanted. I wanted one TV show episode of fucking Ash, and I got like 30 of them. So like, I don't need anything else with Ash. I mean, I would love to have more Ash, but it's like,
sure,
I'm good. I'm good. They could take it somewhere else and bring in some new characters.
Yeah, I mean, it has a franchise ability. I think that they could definitely do more with.
Yep.
Anyway, here is the trailer for Hell Night from 1981. Yeah, this movie is basically about, I guess Hell Night is like a thing, right? Where like college kids participate in these hazing rituals to get into fraternities and sororities. These kids looked like they were having fun. I went to college. It was nothing fucking like this, man. It sucked. It sucked. There was no partying because I went to like a nerd school. I fucked up and went to a nerd school. I should have gone to a fucking party college.
Welcome to Garth Manor.
Now, like the basic conceit of this, I think is really clever. It's a Gothic horror movie, but it's set in the here and now, or what was then the here and now, right? So you've got kind of like what looks like a slasher movie setup. But then the characters are all dressed in period garb.
Right.
And they're walking around a mansion with candelabras. And you're just like, damn, like this could easily be mistaken for like an Edgar Allan Poe, like a Roger Corman Edgar Allan Poe.
Right.
In order to be a member of Alpha Sigma Rho, one has to do what?
To stay in Garth Manor one night.
Yeah, and yes, this is Linda Blair when she was. Oh my, you know, she's looking cute in this, I think.
And why is this night so special?
Because 12 years ago, Raymond Garth murdered his family here and then committed suicide.
And when the police arrived...
Oh, that's interesting. This is a trailer that actually really does give you an idea of establishing the plot. Yeah, because basically these kids go to your classic haunted house. It's like every neighborhood kind of has one, right? That spooky house. I know I had one that was in my area when I was a kid, you know, where like kids would like, you know, challenge others, you know, can you like walk through there, come out the other side? And in this case, it's a huge mansion called Garth Manor, where, well, here, I'll let this dude explain it.
Party on,
They
Wayne.
discovered a note written by Raymond Garth describing the entire gruesome act. But strangely, they only discovered 3 dead bodies.
Right, because the history of the house is that the owner was a wealthy man, and he and his wife had 3 or 4 children, but they all ended up mentally and or physically handicapped. And so one night, the father loses his mind and he murders his kids, all except one, and his wife. And so Andrew, the eldest son, like gets to see all of this. And the legend is that he disappeared. He was never found. So guess where he's been hanging out? 3 guesses.
Andrew is still believed by some to be living somewhere within this house.
Yeah, I think this was before Rick James was snorting cocaine off of her rack. Peter Barton, he was from a TV series called The Something of Matthew Starr. The Power of Matthew Starr, where he played like an alien prince or some shit like that.
Well, John Carter.
Hey, let's party.
Yeah, kinda.
Quaaludes and Jack Daniels. Oh.
Yeah, it's Vincent Van Patten from the Van Patten acting clan. They're kind of like they're like, you know how there's like 1 billion Skarsgårds right now? Back then there was like 1 million Van Pattens.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is one radical chick.
They were all good actors though. So.
All right. No.
Right. So they go in to the house, right? That's the test. They have to spend an entire night in Garth Manor, and they smuggled in some booze and some Quaaludes and even music, as you can see. And Vincent Van Patten's ready to party with this British chick.
How the fun begins.
But then these motherfuckers naturally are going to fuck with them. And actually, you know what? It's not even really in a dickish way. It's actually kind of like I think it's kind of funny. It's not even really that mean-spirited. Don't shot her in the ass with a fucking one of those suction cup arrows. Come on now. I'm all for like a little spanking. That's fine, but
hey,
Robin Hood to the rescue!
Dan Sheehan says, I went to college in the 80s. Those things are a great place to meet girls. Not my college, not my university. Oh, man. But once again, I went to a fucking nerdy school. And so, you know, there was no partying, man. People sucked there. I especially love the sound effects in this, or at least the sounds that the monster makes in this.
Yeah, it's the best. This is my favorite one right here, dude.
It's great, right?
It's brutal, dude. It's believable too. They did a good job on this one.
Yeah, I think so too. So throughout Garth Manor, they've got all of these like air vents and secret passages, and underneath the house, it's like a rabbit warren.
Who's there?
Yeah, these guys get it. Oh man, I actually, when it comes to the deaths, and actually, we're definitely gonna be taking a look at those. He bites it the hardest, I think.
Peter, is that you? Cut the bullshit, Peter.
Screaming like a little bitch. I mean, mind you, he's right to be screaming like a little bitch. I'm screaming like a little bitch too.
This was supposed to be a joke. I can't believe it. What about Seth? Seth is bringing back help.
Seth isn't coming back.
Well, then we'll wait. We'll wait until morning. I mean, Peter and the other kids will...
You'll be dead by morning, honey. Oh, you actually got a little bit of a monster here. That surprises me.
Back. Well, then we'll wait. We'll wait until morning. I mean, Peter and the other kids will be here.
Peter's dead. Or...
Well... Maybe there are more guards. Maybe Seth...
Yeah, so basically this is a gothic this is a gothic horror movie, which wasn't like a thing in the early 1980s. And you know, I'm not going to lie. I was like, when people accuse me of being like a horror snob now, I laugh in their faces. Because some of the shit that I love is pretty damn trashy, right? You can't be like, you know, a snob when you're like into like Bruno Mattei movies and that sort of thing. But when I was a kid, I was. Because when you're a kid, you take shit so much more seriously than you do when you're an adult.
Right.
And I was really I was not into the slasher genre. I loved Halloween. Actually got my mother to take me and my best friend to see that.
Really?
The night before Halloween, on a Devil's Night, when it was first released, and loved it to pieces. Thought it was absolutely brilliant. But then, of course, afterwards came the copycats.
Right.
Some of which are actually really good. Terror Train, Prom Night, The House on Sorority Row. There's quite a few that are actually pretty good, but I was just like not into it. Hey Dan, thank you so much for hanging out. We do appreciate you.
Later, bro.
But one thing that you didn't have was you didn't have gothic horror, and this is kind of like a stealth gothic horror movie.
Gothic horror slasher in a way, right?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a slasher, but because this is just I mean, it has this it's kind of like a little bit like a slasher because the people are getting picked off, but you had that before the slasher movies too. In order for it to be a slasher movie, there has to be, you know, a knife, different weapons, you know, whereas in this case they're dealing with like a mongoloid lunatic, like a kind of, it's actually kind of like early H.P. Lovecraft, actually.
He's kind of like Solomon Grundy in a way. Like he doesn't,
yes.
I mean, he'll pick up a shovel or something. You know what I mean? He doesn't have like a blade that he uses like in a giallo or something, you know?
Yeah, he'll grab what's handy.
Yeah.
But, and as you can see, the mansion, totally a gothic mansion.
Love the mansion, like right from the get. Like that got me right into the movie. I'm like, ooh,
right.
Look at that mansion. Okay, I'm in. Like
right?
little shit like that'll get me into a movie. I'm just fucking funny that way.
No, me too. Because I'm a kid. I'm thinking like, oh fuck, like this looks like one of my Hammer movies or
Right,
like one of my
right.
Poe movies. Like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. It's weird too. Like you see a house like that, like even like, okay, so it's not in Europe or even like in America, you're like, oh, there's some fucking history behind that house. You know what I mean? Like that shit's probably been there, like the Winchester house or the Hearst mansion. You know what I mean? Or there's places in Mexico where you go there and there's fucking mansions, right? And they have this like American or sorry, even like European, architecture.
Yeah.
Like who came over here and built this shit and they're not here anymore and it's still fucking there. You know what I mean? Like what, like I remember there was a big house we went to over there and it was just like a massive house and some Canadian dude built it and he's gone. You know what I mean? And some family was living there now, and just like, wow, there's all these rooms, just all that stuff. Just it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there were actual manors that, like for instance, the villain in Six Gun Gorilla, he's inspired by real people, like members of like the British landed gentry that read these stories called Natty Bumppo stories. I've never read those, but evidently this was some kind of pulp story that was very popular in England at the time. And so you had, in some cases, people moving their ancestral manors brick by brick to like Texas.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy. Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, that's fucking gnarls.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, that's my fucking villain right there.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. He is dope, dude. Yeah, I can't wait to see the next one.
Oh, dude, the Zeppelin fight. The Zeppelin fight's gonna be awesome.
Fucking mad flight on that. Mad hype.
Dude, fucking Gorilla plus Zeppelin, that's all I'm saying.
So and he's got 6 shooters. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah, baby. So Peter Barton, like you could tell, he's like dressed as a gunslinger, right? Yeah. And Vincent Van Patten's dressed like Robin Hood, but then they end up taking off like their coats, and Vincent Van Patten takes off his Robin Hood hat, and you could easily, if you just walked into this movie, think that you were watching a Gothic horror film.
Totally.
And that's one of the things that just really struck me about this.
I really like the villain too, man. Like he was really cool. Like, I don't know, like he kind of felt like Solomon Grundy. You know what I mean? That's why I liked him. I mean, the one thing, the one thing that kind of the one thing I didn't like about this movie, I'll just say it right now before I forget.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I didn't want to see his face, like that reveal. You're like, oh, there he is. Like you just showed like moments past. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
That when I saw that, I was like, fuck, I don't like the way he looks. You know what I mean? Because before you just see him like in shadow, you just see like his black eye sockets and fucking him coming up the stairs and like clad in shadow and like you don't see his face. But at that point, it was at the end of the movie. You know what I mean? It was already like the reveal. It didn't matter any fucking more, which is cool. But
it doesn't belong in the trailer.
No,
don't put that shit in the trailer, because here's the thing. You do have to show the monster at the end.
You do got to show him. You do.
Right?
Yeah.
But up until that point, when he's just like mysterious, you're just seeing his hands, or you're seeing him kind of like in shadows.
Yeah.
And like lit from behind.
Yeah. Like there was scenes where you just see his eye sockets and he looks fucking this blackened eye sockets, like scary as fuck. You know what I mean? Coming up with his hair, like
yeah, man,
old as fuck, and his little like kind of like Solomon Grundy get up. Like, damn, that fool looks scary. And he's just coming up the stairs, and it looked like he was crawling up the stairs at people, like in the Bowery or in the bottom of the castle or mansion, if you will. And I really like that, dude. I thought that was cool. And just seeing those two things really made it for me for the movie. And then they executed the first kill in here. Sold me. So you had the mansion.
Yes.
And you had like a scary first kill, and it didn't just like happen right away. It kind of it was a slow build. You know what I mean? And when I was like, oh damn, that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
with the trouble.
I thought the pacing in this was really, really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's good.
I would have just personally made him like a little scarier, like if you're gonna like with the makeup, you know what I mean? Somehow,
yes,
or not showing him at all. That's how that was my only complaint about the movie. Other than that, fucking, I give it 2 horns up. I recommend the shit out of it.
Oh, I'm glad that you liked it. We haven't done like a lot of mainstream American movies, and I was like thinking this is actually like a really good one.
Yeah, no, it's cool, right?
Yeah, and here, that's this is pretty cool. Somebody did like a kill count. Damn, the volume's a little jacked up. Death, violence, and disturbing visuals. Take a look at that first kill.
Right? The sound.
I love the sound effects for
him. Me too, man. I love it. Yeah.
Just these dirty hands, the fingernails just clawing at her naked flesh. Yeah, and just
like
yeah,
I was waiting for like the Castle Freak face. Like that was what I was thinking the whole time. Because that shit's a horror bar. Like for me, like Castle Freak, like because I put this in the same genre as that. Like it's not a slasher, but it's kind of like the Castle Freak genre. You know, I don't know
human degeneration.
You know why this is Gothic? You know what? You know why this is also a Gothic horror movie?
Mm-hmm.
Because the prodigal son returns.
Yes, and the familial curse.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
The generational curse.
Oh, that one was Gnarls, dude. Gnarls Barkles.
Right? That's a really good effect, man.
Yeah. Nope. That was the one.
I mean, it's like blink and you miss it because, of course, they were dealing with like mad crazy censorship.
Oh yeah, but it looks real, dude. Like they had her.
It really does
around there. Like that's how you do it. There's no other way. Yep. Like you do it that way. Like even nowadays, you don't fucking CGI it. You put the actor's head in a wall, and then you build. You put the wall around it, and then you dress it up, and then hack a time. You know what I mean?
All right. Chris says, "Are there boobies in this movie?" There is no nudity in this. Yeah, there you can see the effect. However, you do get a pretty good look at Linda Blair's bountiful bosom. Once again, that's like the Gothic horror movies. That's like the Hammer movies. That's like the Poe movies. You're not getting nudity. You're getting these women in booby dresses.
Yeah, it makes it, for me, like...
It's sexier.
It makes it more classy. I mean, obviously there's cleavage, you know what I mean, or whatnot, but I mean, you're not going full, you know what I mean? For me, that makes it even more classy. Like a lot of people would say, oh, classy is more like fucking, like before that time, like in the 40s and 50s and 60s and shit. But for me, it's like, that's still classy. You know what I mean? And it just, yeah, dude, it makes the movie more charming and scary and has its own regalness to it,
Absolutely. That's what I loved about this movie. It was so out of left field.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This was like at that time in 1981. This was like really, really clever. This was like incredibly retro. Yeah, sorry, Chris. I've been looking for like a good booby shot of Linda Blair. You do get to see her rack jiggle around when she's running.
That face that she looks at is crossed. Must be like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Third leg.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that would, it's like the poor guy was like born like a monster. It's like you hope at the least, like, he's packing a rattlesnake in his trousers.
Oh man.
Right. So that the head of the fraternity like starts fucking with them using audio tricks. Right. He's got speakers set up, that are screaming. And then he has this thing set up, which is like a film projector, but it looks like a hologram.
Totally.
Let me see. Chris says that face as she looks at his crotch must be like a baby. Sorry, gotcha, brother. And hey, Linda Blair is wearing a red dress in this. Or is that? Would you say that's red, or is that kind of purplish?
It's pink
burgundy?
for sure. I mean, in this light, it's pink from my monitor.
Gotcha.
You know, but
yeah. This is a great moment because she already knows that, you know, that tricks are being played on them.
Yeah.
And yet this trick is so effective, she genuinely gets scared. Because, well, what if?
Right.
Right? What if it's not a trick? And of course, you could never do this in real life. There's nothing realistic about this. But once again, I don't know why people think that movies are supposed to be like a accurate representation of reality. And the frat boy, the head of the frat, starts using he knows like where all the hidden entrances are, the trapdoors, and that's another thing I love about this too, are all the trapdoors, secret passages, all that shit is Gothic as fuck.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is probably my favorite kill. Right here. Let's watch him bite it. Oh!
The sound effects are funny. You hear it? It's like
yeah.
And then you hear like that, like the little,
like the growls that he makes are fucking fantastic.
And see right there how he's just like clad in shadow, like you don't see
yes,
him.
perfect shot.
So fucking scary like that.
I know.
Like for me personally, I still wouldn't have shown his face. I wouldn't have fucking shown his face at all.
I would have at the end. You owe the audience. You owe the audience at the end. You kind of do, but then you have to make sure that the makeup lives up to it. In this case, I thought it did.
For me, it had to be like really grotesque or something, like because that right there, like that's like he's scary, dude. Like just like that,
really scary.
He's got the fucking skullet, like all that. You know, he's like Mr. Creepy.
Oh,
I hear it.
Yeah, and the way he's backlit there, it's perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
See ya.
It's hard to get that lighting on the face like that, you know, or the absence thereof.
Right. Like this was just really, really well. I mean, I just think it's a really well made movie.
Yeah, it is. The Foley's fantastic. The sound effects, on the kills, like really,
the music's good.
Yeah, it's a fun 80s like fucking horror movie, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Oh yeah, that's a great shot right there, where he's just like looming over the bed.
Oh wait, we can't see it, brother.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
What, you can't see this? I'm looking at it right now on the feed.
Oh, for some reason, it's not on mine, on my StreamYard.
Okay, well, let me make double sure. Stop screen. Okay, let me share screen again. Because we don't want to be, I don't want to be talking about shit and you have like no clue what I'm referring to. No entire screen.
Yeah, I don't see it. I didn't see it.
God damn it, man. Well, hopefully it's not. Oh, screen sharing was canceled. Make sure you click share on the modal and not cancel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, for sure. I used to know a guy that used to say that.
Yeah. Who used to say that?
Some dude. Like, yeah, for sure.
Now, how do I fix this? Pops, help me. Screen sharing was canceled. Make sure you click share. Can I still do that, or do you have to like reload and all that crap? Because I'm not doing that. Everybody that's hanging out, thank you. We do appreciate you. Smash that like button if you feel like it. Smash the subscribe. Actually, I'm actually up to 400 subscribers right now, which is
no shit. Congrats.
And we just cancel out of what you were trying to share and start over.
Oh, okay. All right.
And yes, I did see that you went over 400 subscribers, and I went, horns up, horns up.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah. People are digging the spaghetti western.
Stream
that I do. And let's see. Let's get to the death of the frat boy.
There you go. All
right, can you see that shit?
Yep. You can see it.
Okay, all right. So let me turn the volume down because it's like extra loud. And let's get another look at this one because I did it. Yeah, and then frat boy gets run through with a scythe. Yeah, I'm not gonna show all of the all of the deaths because you do want to go into this. I mean, look, there are certain characters they're getting whacked from the beginning.
Right.
Okay, so people are like spoilers. I'm just like, look, these are characters that are set up like bowling pins to be knocked down. You recognize it when you see them in these movies, right? Like,
totally.
Shit.
Yeah, they're going to get taken out.
Yeah, without a doubt. So yeah, he just goes around and he takes out the pranksters, the people on the outside of the house first, and then he comes inside the house. And there's one scene in particular that I really love, where Peter Barton is, being in a very gentlemanly way, he is protecting Linda Blair because, like, Vincent Van Patten's character could actually climb the fence,
right?
But Linda Blair's character can't, and so Peter Barton's character isn't going to leave her behind because, like, well, you just don't fucking do that, right?
Yeah.
And so Vincent Van Patten's character, like, goes to tell the cops, and they just don't believe him. They think, like, oh, because it's like Hell Night, it's like all these pranks and shit. So he grabs a 12 gauge from the evidence room and heads back like a Chad to help them. But yeah, there's this wonderful scene. I just love this where they're having a conversation, and then in the background, kind of Halloween style, you suddenly see the carpet rising.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
And it's just like until it's finally standing.
And like, oh shit, what am I gonna do?
Right, and so he jabs him with the pitchfork. There you go, Chris. That's a good booby shot right there. And what I love is his body drops, and then he goes to retrieve the pitchfork, and the body is gone, and you see a trapdoor in the floor and blood leading down. So then you're like, oh, that's how he just suddenly appeared out of nowhere. But also, that then makes everything so much scarier because this guy could pop out of anywhere at any time.
Yeah, like you're nowhere safe. He's got you.
Yes. And then finally, when they go in the basement, I remember as a kid, like, this is when the movie officially had me. When I was like, all right, yeah, I love this. This is cool. This is like a proper horror movie. This isn't like, the slasher bullshit.
Yeah.
My man Chris, if you're watching, man, or listening, much love to you. He's more of a slasher guy, and actually has helped me watch a lot of the worthwhile slasher movies, because there are actually some that are it's not a worthless genre like I thought it was when I was a kid. Like I said, I was a fucking snob. Shoot me. Yeah, this is great. I just love this. Spooky. Gothic. Yeah, so underneath the mansion, there are tunnels, and the tunnels are everywhere. They're like I said, it's like a rabbit warren down there. And, of course, that's what enables him to travel, like, anywhere on the grounds and just pop out wherever he feels like it. Turn off getting ambient sound from Pops there. Yeah, and I was a fan of Gothic horror when I was a kid because of the Hammer movies,
yeah,
and the Roger Corman Poe movies. That then got me interested in Gothic literature. And when I was at university, actually, that's what my focus was in English lit. It was in Gothic literature. And a lot of those books are silly as fuck, but they're also just a hell of fun. Oh, hey. What up, ID? What up, Dave?
What's going on? What's happening?
We're taking a look at Hell Night.
I'm glad I could make it, man. I got to sneak this in while I was working downstairs. I was very happy that I had a chance to study. You're all the way in here. Ah, man, this is the coolest part too.
Right? Like
this... they had, because they had to have like a rat wrangler.
Oh yeah. But also just the killers stashing the bodies of like their dead relatives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very chainsaw. What's up, Pops? What's up, Matt?
Oh, I think they're both okay. AFK. They're both okay. AFK at the moment.
Right.
What's up, man? Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay. No, it's you must say hi back.
Yeah, you're good, brother, man.
It's okay.
Yeah. That's the shot right there. That's the money shot.
It's the dinner scene.
Yeah,
with the fresh body. I love the way that like there's all this gray and decaying flesh, and then right there is only freshly dead.
Yep. It's like, hey, Ma, Pa, I brought back a girl. I brought back a girlfriend. So now you know this guy is real. Now you know that he's like killing people, and now you know, yes, he is completely out of his fucking mind and capable of anything.
It's that shit moment.
He is out of his mind because his head is misshapen. So clearly there's a piece of mind that is out of place.
Yes.
Out of his skull.
Yeah, but this is like he's a berserker.
What he said.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is the kind of guy Bruce Lee would like turn tail and run from and go whoop 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 whoop.
You know, there's a lot of Bruce Lee aficionados that would disagree with that.
Oh no! Well, in his own words, he was asked. He was asked, "Is there anybody that you're afraid to fight?" And he said, "Yeah, who? A lunatic."
Well, yeah, you're right. Okay, right, because they have like chimpanzee strength and stuff.
Dude, in prisons, the one type of person that everybody's afraid of is a fucking lunatic. Like the hardest motherfuckers on the planet are afraid of lunatics.
Yeah,
because they're just unpredictable.
Leave that crazy old white boy alone.
Yeah, leave that old crazy white boy alone.
See, that was actually
fucking Pop has a great story about nutsacking some guy.
There was a fighting tactic in the Switch. I know I'm going way off track here.
No, it's all good. We don't mind digressing here.
Jason Bateman, Jennifer Aniston. I know you guys aren't into rom-coms, but this is one of the coolest ones because the kid is awesome, and he's getting bullied in school. And the guy that he doesn't know that he's this kid's dad is like, just be the crazy guy. Everyone's afraid of the crazy guy.
Yup.
Yeah. That's the information. That's
true. That's absolutely the case.
You should watch it. It's hilarious.
It's very smart to be cautious around the crazy guy.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Pops, you really quick, do you want to tell that story or not?
Nah.
I know, man. I've seen like crazy guys get shot and they don't do what bullets are supposed to make them do.
Right. Especially when they're jacked up on PCP or wet or illy.
Or they're just in a situation where they know they have no option.
Word.
Right. Exactly. Oh man!
See, look at that.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Yeah,
right? The less you see them, the better.
That shot where the guy is coming. Was it really early version of BioShock or something like that, where you saw this creature climbing through the tunnel, coming at you, and you know there was no escape. That shot where you see the guy running at the camera through a tunnel. and you can't, you're not going to be able to get around him.
Yes.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, I want to see another shot like that, because that was unnerving.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And it's just like down there, you don't have exactly a lot of room to move.
No escape.
Right. And it's like, well, he's got a pitchfork, but once again, lunatic.
Right now, they look like Wolverine claw wounds on his face.
Right.
With lighting.
Yep.
That right there.
Yeah, they do the wise thing and fucking book it.
Did you guys see? See, like even that shot back there where you saw him, he even looks scary right there too.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, it's impending.
Yep. So you're basically seeing the monster piecemeal.
Yeah.
Which is what you want to do. You want to like slowly. Like, first, you don't see it. You just see his shape, right? He's like lit from behind. Here, you get a glimpse of his face, but it's very quick because it's the character's POV. They're just looking over their shoulder and just catching a glimpse.
There's a scene in Barbarian that's a lot like this too. I don't know if you've seen Barbarian.
Yes.
Yeah.
That movie was good. That movie was solid.
Oh, terrific.
Hard
terrific.
Dude, it was good with the effects. It was good with the characters. I don't know if it made a whole lot of sense though.
It was in the same sort of subgenre as this and Castle Freak. Once again, it's like early.
We did a Castle Freak, didn't we? Do one of those?
Yes, we did Castle Freak. Because that's I think that's a very kind of underrated masterpiece.
Oh yeah, that was good. I like this part right here.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, just this. Yeah, like this. The set. I love the sounds that he makes.
Yeah,
yeah. Her outfit is kind of cool too.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the things that I was talking about tonight is the fact that this is basically a Gothic horror film in a modern setting, but then you've got all the characters wearing period garb,
right?
So they're wandering around this like Gothic spooky castle with candelabras.
Right.
If you just tuned in at that moment, you'd likely think, oh, this is like a Corman Poe movie,
exactly,
or a Hammer movie or something.
Right, but the thing is, everybody's got their different costume. Great,
yes,
but her costume and his costume are in sync with each other's.
Yeah,
right. And I don't mean just like color wise, but like period wise.
Period.
Robin Hood is way before all that, and then
yes, but then he takes off all the Robin Hood stuff, and he's just wearing that billowy shirt,
right?
Which is also from that period,
right? But I mean, as far as like couples hooking up, those two are in the same basic time period, Victorian versus I like that they had him. They didn't waste him. They didn't waste. Was it Robert Van Zant?
Van Patten.
Van Patten, that's it. Right,
Vincent Van Patten from the.
Well, no, you know what? I was
the Skarsgård.
I was reading the upper right corner there. Sorry, Pops. I invoked you.
Manly grunting.
Yeah,
Chris.
Yeah, like here he's just rocking like a poet shirt.
Mm-hmm,
those are incredibly comfortable, by the way.
I've seen, I've noticed that you own one.
Yes, the 1800s was the last period where like men's clothes looked cool, in my opinion. Booyakasha! And I don't know how much we want to give away here, because that's an interesting twist in the plot. Yeah, I don't want to. Oh, and then I think the climax is really satisfying. Would you agree that the climax is kind of awesome?
Yes, in a Angelina Jolie Gone in 60 Seconds kind of way.
Somebody bites it hard.
Yes. But the climax is hyphenated, kind of.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? There's little climaxes but before she actually, I'm not going to blow it, but
right.
I honestly, my favorite part of the movie was where I forgot that part of the story where her dad, uncle, grandfather, family member, whatever, owned a garage, and she
was a mechanic.
Yep. Right. So when the car's not going to start, and she, like, I am honest, like, I literally just totally bricked it when she pops the hood.
Yeah.
And fixes the car and gets it to start. Like, apparently it was flooding, and I think what she did was expel all the extra gas from the carburetor so that she could get it to start.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wait, what? I'm like, oh, right. She's one of those girls that I wish I knew.
Yes. So it's established earlier that she could fix cars.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like a 5-second delay, no more than that. Good writing.
Right, I thought so too. I think this is like a very efficient little horror movie, and was retro in a very, very cool way. It was like a stealth Gothic horror film, like a stealth, Hammer movie or Edgar Allan Poe.
I think the only thing that would have made it better if there was some more of a goth prog rock soundtrack.
That would be cool.
And Matt's going to agree with me now that he's thought about it.
Yeah, no, that would.
I mean, if you had a little Bauhaus in there.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And let's see. Okay, I'm not going to give too much away. Right. Folks, if you want to see Hell Night, if we've convinced you to check this out, click the link in the description below and check it out edit free. Although I do have to say I do have a hard copy of this. Physical media, bitches. Start stocking up because all this stuff is going to be gone real soon, man.
AI is going to take over and turn this movie into something that it thinks you want to see, but don't really want to see.
You want to watch this. You like this.
Yeah, right, and it's going to have like product placements out the ass. But
at the very beginning of this movie, when was it like Space Prince character that got done in by the Scythe, and he's at the I don't know how a frat party coat check, but the girl there at and he's like, oh my god, who's that over there? And you have to wrestle. As far as Linda Blair goes, you have to wrestle hot versus cute, because I honestly think she comes over more 60-40 on the cute side.
Without a doubt.
Does on the hot side.
Without a doubt. And I always maintain, don't go for the hot chick, go for the cute chick.
Right. The cute chick probably the cute chick probably knows how to like cook and mend. That mend part is really important when you get sick.
Well, I remember seeing like an interview with like Linda Blair from around this time, and she's like, oh, like people tell me that I'm sexy, but I just don't see it. I'm just like, yes, babe, that's what makes you hot. That's what makes you hot. That's what makes you
right.
You don't know that you're fucking cute. So
exactly, that's it. Cute. She's an 11 on the cute scale, but
yes,
not so much on that.
Yes,
that dress does leave very little to the imagination, except for
hammer style.
Except for that part.
Yes,
right
style.
there.
Yep,
that's the spot. I can't believe I caught that. That's the exact moment of the movie. I was like, oh, she's not cute anymore.
Right. Like now she's just hot.
Yeah. She's bringing it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I always thought that she should have had a better career than she did.
Yeah.
I thought she should have been like on a Jamie Lee Curtis level, but it was not meant to be. And I don't know that I can't remember if this movie got good reviews or not. I'm sure it was probably successful, but it was not a hit. It was not like one of those movies that was like a runaway success or something. It kind of got lost, I think, in the shuffle, and it's still sort of lost in the shuffle. And
yeah, I never heard of it.
Yeah. Once again, it's one of the things I love to do on this stream is to bust out something that you probably haven't seen before, but should see. The buried treasures, because to me, that's such a large part of being a horror aficionado. Is
IMDb says 5.6. IMDb says 5.6 was actually pretty good for IMDb.
No, well, yeah, like the perfect score is like a 6.4, 6.7.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But and this is at least a fucking 6.4. I think.
Yeah. It was better than I expected.
Right. Way.
Well, because when you come at something and you know that it's going to be in the 80s.
Yes.
And it's Linda Blair.
Yes, you have certain expectations.
And it's Linda Blair that's not The Exorcist. So, like, I've seen her act in other stuff. You immediately give it points against. And this movie fought against that. It was a lot better than I expected. The special effects were a lot better than I expected. I mean, for a slasher film, there's a lot of standard stuff that you expect to have happen. And I thought this handled it pretty well.
That's the thing. This isn't really a slasher. This is a gothic horror.
Right. Well, it's kind of both.
Well,
I think it's a happy medium.
It's a stealth gothic horror movie. Is kind of what it is.
You don't know.
You kind of get right. You kind of get the feeling that
my husband didn't know that it was decaf.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So something like that. And I met Linda Blair at a convention, and you should have seen the face that she made when I told her that I loved Exorcist 2. She just like rolled her eyes. I was just like, I think it's awesome. I think you should take another look at that.
Well, like you had to tell it to her twice because she thought you were trolling.
Yeah.
No, really. No, really.
I remember as a kid, I watched Repossessed like a lot. More than I don't know why.
That's right.
But I don't even remember the movie. I don't even remember the movie, but I remember watching it a lot as a kid. You know what I mean? I'm sure if I go back, like poof, 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 all these like repressed viewing memories will come back. But I remember that movie was hilarious. Leslie Nielsen.
That's one of the things that's fun about revisiting movies that you loved in your childhood. Like some of that shit holds up. Some stuff improves with time.
Yeah.
And then of course some shit just does not hold up at all.
Honestly, I would visit my grandparents and wonder why it was that they always watched this old black and white stuff. And now that I'm older,
now you get it.
Versus the stuff that I'm assaulted with, it sucks.
Yes.
I totally understand. Why will I go back and watch a 1985 Peter Hyams cop buddy movie from that made me want to go to Key
because
West
the modern
vacation.
shit sucks.
Yeah,
because the modern shit sucks. And that's the thing. When I hear people bemoaning the state of cinema, like American, like mainstream cinema, I'm like, fuck it. I'm okay.
Yeah, right.
Y'all are going to be the ones that are going to suffer because you're going to get fucking like Marvel movies and fucking Star Wars crap, and you got to sit through all that shit because you'll only watch the mainstream shit. I've got 100 years of world cinema. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be alright. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay. Y'all are the ones that are gonna be fucking hurting because you can't watch anything that's more than 5 years old.
If horror movies were canned goods, you're gonna live forever.
Without a doubt. Dude, do you have any idea how many fucking movies I have in this place? Thousands.
Look,
I'm at least like in the 4 digits.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Well, there's that. I mean, if the toys behind you are any indication of the movie that inspired your toy collection, I believe it. Because nobody goes out and buys those toys unless they're in love with the movie that made those toys.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, well, not necessarily, because there is a lot of shit I have that I just grabbed because it was like on sale for like nothing. Like the John Travolta Battlefield Earth figure for instance.
I
I
have a
bought that
comic
because it
book.
was 90 cents, not 99 cents. Yo,
I have a comic book like that. It came in a plastic bag and it had cards with it, and I think Rob Liefeld drew it. I have one of those.
That's cool. That's interesting.
Well, there was two others sitting next to it in some obscure place in the mall, and then I looked at it, I was like, oh, everyone has this. That's why there's so many of them. You know what I mean? It's like every comic book has 2,500 Death of Superman copies.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Because like you have like 2 million people buying them because they think they'll be good investments.
Right. It was the speculators. We need to get
speculators.
off the death of, we have to get off the Death of Superman standard.
Yeah, well, the speculators nearly killed the market because they were making the comics for the speculators. They weren't making them for the fans anymore.
I think they made it. That's the speculators just killed themselves.
No, they just discovered toys. They just went, ooh, toys, fuck comics.
Right. I get it.
And so they fucked up toy collecting.
Toys and variants. Oh my.
Ooh, yeah. Funko Pops.
Oh my God. How is that not your there's your Twitter name and then there's toys and variants. Oh my.
Right? That'd be a good name.
It would be.
I remember, man, like, I mean, look, these are motherfuckers that will go to like the toy store and just like grab everything off the shelves,
dude,
so they could sell it for you for double the price. This is why I got. Are you okay, Matt?
He cut himself
everything off the shelf, like
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
cut yourself off the opening that last beer. Cut myself.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how I justified buying all of like the Hammer horror figures. I'm just like, well, I have to buy them because if I don't get them now, I'm gonna want them later, and then they'll be like triple the price.
Well, my brother,
I have to get them.
My brother, Kit Bash, that's been on here a couple of times.
Yeah, Jeff.
When he worked at Kmart, he would buy 2 versions of every Star Trek Micro Machines, one to keep in the box, one to put on display.
Right.
As soon as they showed up. I remember somebody telling me the difference between a Trekker and a Trekkie is a Trekkie is somebody who's all about the material and everything that everybody else will buy and sell. And a Trekker is the person who actually cares about the message that's, embedded in every episode and the Prime Directive and all that stuff. Like they understand the story.
The lore.
It's not about
the difference between the Tellarites and the Andorians, the difference between a phaser and a disruptor. I knew all that shit, man.
Right.
Yeah. I was
versus and the philosophy behind it versus buying and selling stuff.
Right.
A Trekkie will buy and sell stuff. A Trekker can sit down around a campfire and have a beer with you and talk Star Trek for 3 hours.
Well, I mean, it's all semantics, but what's his face? One of the guys from Seinfeld said that when he was in college, he belonged to a club where they would show the opening shot of the episode, right, where the Enterprise is orbiting a planet, and you had to guess the episode just from that.
Oh wow!
Oh, cool! That's like a name that tune.
Yeah, but I mean,
and so many notes into the tune, you have to guess the tune.
Yes.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah, the Netflix messed with that. They updated all kinds of stuff when the original episodes.
Yeah, I mean, look, everything's gonna get fucked with.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, it's like if you think that your fandom, your hobby, your whatever is safe, it's not, because they're going down a list, and it's always the same thing. Nice hobby you got here, we'll take it, and you can go fuck off now. And if everybody had risen up and put a stop to that shit, put a stop to that nonsense, maybe the comic book industry wouldn't have, be like moribund, on artificial fucking life support.
Right. Well,
because the comics now are just a fucking
indie comics.
Yes. No, that's where we come in. That's where we come in for faux show. We're almost at 2 hours. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. But before I do, we got to say peace out.
Oh man, I just
Dave,
got
tell
here. Are
these
you
people
kidding
where
me?
they-
All right.
Yes. So
I
tell these.
have dirt
We
on
can't
my-
see the
my
crumbs.
artwork.
We can't see the mustard stains.
That's dirt from working in the yard. idcrisis.com is my website. There's a link tree at the bottom of the very first page. Everything is there.
Hell yeah. And Matt, tell these fools where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Runecutter Comic, and if you guys want to support me, if you like horror, you can pick up my book at butchcleaver.com. I got Butch Cleaver 1 right there, and Butch Cleaver 2. It's about a brutal butcher who gets killed. He's brought back to life by a voodoo curse, and that curse gives him the power to weaponize bone on a molecular level. So the first book, you're going to have him coming back from the dead, and he's being hunted by a bounty hunter. And the second one, we're going to go into his origin. And you guys want, I got these T-shirts right here. Shoot me a DM on Twitter. I got mediums, larges, and extra large. And thank you, Brian. The next few backers are going to get a metal bottle opener too. So Indiegogo. So
bottle opener.
A bunch of stuff comes with that too, and the poster as well. So thanks, Brian.
You got it, brother. And folks, like, I'm not fucking around. These are.
Dude, for real. But I pulled that out of the package. I was like, all you got to do is sharpen either side of this.
Or put it in a sock and just fucking swing it like a flail.
You could do that. Charles Bronson on the subway.
You could leave like a nice dent in somebody's forehead with this, I'm telling you. And it's all cool looking. It's all shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Go check Matt's stuff out. It is a hell of a lot of fun. Pops, you want to let these people know where they can find you?
You can find me right there on YouTube at Comic Talk with Pops Van Zant. You can find me in the comic-related madness over there in the Face Crook and Madness Comic on the Twatter. And basically, no matter what happens, we're going to keep trying to build this thing, yo.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And everybody, you can check out my comic, Six Gun Gorilla, Long Days of Vengeance. The new campaign is on Indiegogo right now. That's for the Volume 2 trade paperback, the Great Silence. And you can download the first issue for free. And there's something there for everybody. So, you're going to be able to buy like the early issues. You could get them a la carte, whatever. I try to make it easy for people to get a hold of my stuff. So, Pops, you want to take us out?
I could probably do that.
Okay. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out. We really appreciate you. And until next week, peace, love, and metal!
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse. But if he does, he could lose everything.
first world, come in and take a seat. Pay us no attention, it's all conspiracy. We have satire and parody, some funny, some perverse. If none of it's offensive to you, you'd be the first.
I'm a setting sun, but I'll never run. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. I will stay and fight as long as I'm alive. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking. Till I die.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.